Scientist comes forward and blows the whistle on global warming. Now, there's been a lot of news about climate change, global warming, and we know that Obama, the elite, they're out there pushing this agenda. And we already heard from a UN official saying that global warming, well, it's not really what it's made out to be. It's for destroying capitalism. And we know that there's a lot of individuals getting rich on global warming by producing this carbon tax where you have to buy carbon credits. Al Gore was making a lot of money off of this. And there are scientists that are coming forward. And we see right now that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, well, they broke their own rules. And this report claims that the pause in global warming really never existed, but it was based on misleading, unverified data. And this evidence that's out there reveals that the organization that is the world's leading source of climate data rushed to publish a landmark paper that exaggerated global warming and was timed to influence the historic Paris Agreement on climate change. Now, a high-level whistleblower told and reported that the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration breached its own rules on scientific integrity when it published the sensational but flawed report. And we can see right now they brought this to Paris because the elite, they wanted everyone to believe in global warming. The report claimed that the pause or slowdown in global warming in the period between 1998 and 2013, well, it never really existed. And the world temperatures have been rising faster than scientists expected. And what they did, according to Dr. John Bates, who's out there saying, yeah, this is completely fake. The information that came out is wrong. And it was never subjected to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association's rigorous internal evaluation process. And he objected to this data being produced. Now, Dr. Bates accused the lead author of the paper, Thomas Carl, who was until last year's director of NOAA, rushed the information, didn't verify the data, so that he could time publication to influence national and international deliberations on climate policy. And we can see right now that the information is flawed. It's not real. And when we look at it, we can see right now that this information shows the opposite of what's really happening, because the Earth is not warming. It was actually getting cooler. And when you look at the data sets, they were flawed. And NOAA has now decided that the seed data set will have to be replaced and substantially revised just 18 months after it was issued because it used unreliable methods which overstated the speed of warming. The revised data will show both lower temperatures and slower rate in the recent warming trend. And we know for a fact right there and then that that's going to be flawed, because the paper about global warming temperatures rising, well, they're saying their computer models, well, there were bugs in it. And the software was spitting out wrong information. And right now we can see that NOAA is set to face an inquiry by the Republican-led House Science Committee. And Dr. Bates said they had good data from buoys, and then they threw it out and corrected it by using the bad data from ships. You never change good data to agree with bad, but that's what they did so as to make it look as if the sea was warmer. It also ignored data from satellites that measure the temperature of the lower atmosphere, which also considered reliable. Dr. Yates said that he gave the paper's co-authors a hard time about this, and they never really justified what they were doing. Now, scientists at NOAA, they use land temperature data from 4,000 weather stations, but the software used to process the figures was bug-ridden and unstable, and the data is garbage. Dr. Bates revealed that the failure to archive and make available fully documented data not only violated NOAA's rules, but also those set down by science. Before he retired last year, he continued to raise the issue internally, and then he finally said that he realized that the computer used to process the software, well, it had suffered a complete failure. Now, They had no idea why the computer just all of a sudden failed. But what he's saying is that all the information can never be replicated or verified by other scientists. And this is what they normally do because they don't want it verified. NOAA not only failed, but it effectively mounted a cover-up when challenged over its data. After the paper was published, the U.S. House of Representatives Science Committee launched an inquiry into its claims. NOAA refused to comply with subpoenas demanding internal emails from the committee chairman and falsely claimed that no one had raised concerns about the paper internally. So NOAA completely lied. They couldn't verify any of the data, and they didn't go along with the subpoenas. This is a complete cover-up of what's really happening. Now, you can hear more of all of this in the full report, which is on the X22 Report YouTube channel. And those reports are Monday through Friday, one on Sunday, and they're between 6 and 7 Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to listen to incredible interviews, you can go to the X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channel, where you can hear interviews with Cliff High, you can hear interviews with David Morgan, you can hear interviews with Michael Snyder, you can hear interviews with David Stockman, Jim Rickards. So head on over to the X22 Report Spotlight YouTube channel, and you can hear all the interviews there.